All right. We'll move on. We spent enough time on Rob. Well, Marcus Smart next.
Marcus is gonna get me in trouble, man. I'm hot taking Marcus. I think his ceiling is an all-star season. I think he's
What?
I think he's
Come
getting
on.
the opportunity to play a different kind of role on this
Come on,
team.
man. Come
I don't
on,
know.
man.
All-star is silly, but I think he's gonna put up really like good numbers, if that makes sense. All-star's not fair to predict just because the All-Star
There's too
game
much
isn't
talent. There's too
there's too
much
much talent,
talent in
and
the
also the
East.
All-Star selection really is like scoring wise. And I think if he's at his best, he's not going to be scoring a lot of points.
Hmm. I got you.
Not to say he's not going to score a lot of points, but I think Marcus could be most improved this year. Let's say that. I think that might be a fair ceiling, not Sam's green teamer ceiling. We'll do a high ceiling for Marcus. We'll still predict he could be an all-star because I think he can be elite at his position.
Jeez. All right.
I think he's going to have a really great season passing the ball. And I think because he's going to be expected to facilitate, he's not going to be taking as many silly threes that people don't like to see him take, which is fair. I mean, he shouldn't be taking too many
Mhm.
threes, and especially if he's like stepping back Tatum style, like that's not
I
his
mean,
game.
I can give you stats. I can give you how many contested threes he took versus the Celtics, like other Celtics on the team last year, if
It's
you'd like
probably
that.
more.
So
I
contest.
don't know. It's probably a little higher, but then at the same time, guys are contesting Tatum more
Mhm.
because they are
Yeah.
scared of him more than Smart is.
So very tight threes, which means the defender is right in your face, 0 to 2 feet. Kemba took the most. He took 14. The next most was Jalen with 5. So Kemba was wild in, but he shot 43% on those shots. So you can't. Smart only took 2 very tight contested threes all of last season. He took 37 tight threes, which means the defender was 2 to 4 feet away. Did not shoot well on them. And then you get into the open range, which is 4 to 6 feet, and he took the majority of his 3 point shots came from there. And then he also took a lot of wide open ones. He actually took more wide open threes than open threes. So you could say Smart's got a lot better at shot selection because I can go into years past and I'll look at some years past stats while you continue your
Well,
argument. I can tell you
that's
if he's
kind of the point too. Like people are complaining like they don't want him to play point guard because they don't trust him to, make the right play. I feel like Marcus makes the right play a lot of the time. Yeah, sure, there are plays where he makes not the best shot selection because he wants to shoot a three, but I mean he's still probably open. Like he's probably going to find the open guy whether it's somebody else or him. Okay, making the three is a different question, but I think he's going to have a really good opportunity to showcase his best skills this season. I think Marcus could average like 8 to 9 assists, 8 to 10 assists this year. He's got the talent around him to do it,
yeah,
and
I
I
don't think that's
think on
crazy.
top of that, he could do 13 to 15 points too. If he's doing that, that's like Steve Nash MVP numbers. You know what I'm saying?
All right, buddy. I have some really good news for you and the green team squad. For the past, I think 1, 2, 3 seasons, the past 3 seasons, Marcus Smart has led the team or been second in wide open 3 pointers. Pritchard was the leader last year, but before that, in the 2018-19 season, Marcus Smart got 218 wide open 3 pointers, 1920, 162. Last season, he got 131. So that right there, honestly, could be a reason why his 3 point percentage dipped. And I do think he'll have more open shots this year than he did last year with the talent around him. And I think my expectations, if I had to, put numbers on it, 15 and 8 is what I want from Marcus this year.
Hey,
I don't think
we're
that's
in the
crazy.
same ballpark. Look at
Yeah,
that
we're
on
in the same
Marcus
ballpark.
of all people.
I think
But
ceiling at 10
right.
assists would be wild, but I don't think it's
It's not
too
impossible. I mean,
impossible.
he has the guys around him to do it. He's got
Yeah.
he's got Tatum and Brown, who are two elite scorers, even if they have to shot create. He's got Horford, who's a good player. He's got Robert Williams, who's a guaranteed basket if you throw it in the right spot.
I think
And
the
he has an
only,
elite chemistry with both of those guys. When
yeah,
Horford was here, Marcus and Horford running the pick and roll was lethal. And obviously, Robert Williams is easier to run it with than Horford.
yeah. The issue with 10 assists a game is in the past 4 seasons, only 3 different players have hit that mark. And their names are
Westbrook?
LeBron, Harden, and Westbrook, right? And I mean, you can love Marcus all you want. He's nowhere near the player of any of
No,
those
he's
guys.
not. He's
But
not.
he
I
does
said
have the
8 to
pieces.
10. I think eight's fair.
I think the biggest thing with those three guys is that all three of them are the go-to ball handler on each of their teams. I'm not saying Marcus isn't,
He
but I'm
hasn't
saying
been.
exactly. Dennis Schroeder's going to get some of those ball handling touches. Jason Tatum's going to get some of those touches. You know, Peyton Pritchard's even going to get some. Al Horford's even going to get some of the facilitating opportunities. So I don't know, like who's competing with LeBron for facilitating opportunities? Who's
Nobody.
competing with
Well,
Hart?
Westbrook now. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Westbrook's going to get he's going to get really mad, like red in the face. He's not getting his triple doubles, man.
Brutal. That's the only thing I could see interfering with Smart's 10. I think 8 is reasonable if he stays as the starting point guard. If he struggles, which I'm not saying he will, and they put Schroeder in that role, it's going to go down. Maybe 6 or 7 is a more reasonable thing. But
Which is fine. But I
yeah.
think he's going to be at his best in this role. I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for Smart to showcase that he doesn't suck to these people.
I also will say, just shoot 36% from 3. That's my real goal for him, right? That's all I want. I don't like not 40. I'm not crazy. 33 is not going to cut it anymore though. I want 36. Like I think that's fair. I want 36 from Smart.
I think he was down last year because he had to take more shots that weren't necessarily shots he would take if he was in this year's role, if that makes sense. Like he was relied more for scoring last season than he should be.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'm curious to see if he took more shots than he has in past years last year.
I think he's got sufficient scoring around. Oh, the Celtics have sufficient scoring now that he doesn't have to be relied on for that.
Yeah, he took how many shots a game last year did he take less? He took 10.6. He actually took more shots per game in 1920, which is crazy to me. Took 11.4. I bet it dips down in 18-19 though. Yeah, in 18-19 he took 7.1. So in the past 2 years, because of injuries and stuff, he's had to take a huge role in the shooting department. But I think this year you could see him cut it back down to 8 or 9, maybe even 10 shots a game, which if they're smarter shots, they're not going to be
Tic-tac-o. Come on.